Oh, Jesus. Happy Sevens Day. We are currently out in the canyons carving right now with all the rotaries. They're all running. All the intercooler pipes are done. All the down pipes are done.
Are you dead?
I wish I was. I want to show you guys the best part of this car.
Oh, you're gonna show him? I'm gonna show him.
I mean, you didn't touch the wiring, but if you want to show them it.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the header. The true best part is one of two radiator caps.
Let's show you guys what you've dreamed about seeing on this car for the longest time, and that is clean wiring. This is even my quick wiring, and yet it is still all encapsulated, waterproof. I left these exposed because we're gonna get the correct connector for it. Screw the company that made this one, that mess is there, but it hides away pretty well. All the way back to here, I haven't finished yet, but we got all this tucking away. This will come hide down there, and then that feeds all the power to the oil fan, the two fans here, the water pump. We're talking tons of amperage. I show you all of this because this video was supposed to come out the day of Sevens Day to showcase and to celebrate RX-7s. But we actually kind of did that by showing you what it's like actually owning our RX-7 because you totally missed your event and you're questioning selling the car. That's the true spirit of Sevens Day.
That was planned. That was planned. I haven't been welding because...
Yeah, see, I've been enjoying my cars a little too much, and Isaiah wanted to bring me back to the spirit of what it's like owning a rotary. And for that, I appreciate that greatly.
So the most important question, when pop-ups?
Pop-ups are sitting right here. And since we did that on all the 4-rotor, we stay pop-ups. We do not go with the TJ Hunt flat square ones, which I liked those back when I was younger, but we do pop-ups here. This video is meant to show you what we wanted to do for Sevens Day, and that is make some noise, try to pull a wheelie. Let's see how efficient this wastegate is.
After another long, restless night of struggles, now we have the wastegate ready to go. We just tack this baby in. This is going to slide right underneath the header. It's going to slip in.
It is 97 degrees inside the shop right now. It's not gonna get any colder, so it's perfect time to test the coolant pump. We've got it all wired up. We bled it last night, and I will be honest, it is not the easiest system to bleed, but once it's bled, it's bled. I wanna show you guys it running. Take off the little swirl tank cap here. Isaiah's a huge fan of this little swirl pot, and I think that there's a really good reason for it, but I think that it really depends on the system, and especially the angle of this, the flow of this coming out. Let's just watch how it swirls as we go on. Go ahead and just turn it on to a nice little low, I don't know, 10%. That's low 10%. For the sake of showing you guys what we do, I'm gonna show you 60%. Oh, Jesus. I didn't expect it to be that much.
That was sick.
Oh my God. Needless to say, that's moving a lot of water. That clearly works. We're gonna go ahead and put the cap back on. I topped it off just a little bit, and I wanna see what it sounds like at low and high. So that's 10%, and then here's whatever, 60, 80%? Well, we got that little bit of air from showing you without the cap. That's what you're hearing is that air running. But we have a problem with this swirl tank that none of the caps actually seal enough to work. Today, just like every day this week, this is Thursday now, started off with the same goal, to try and pull a wheelie. Sevens Day came and passed, and like I said earlier, that's kind of in true RX-7 owner fashion, but not for me. This has always been something where I've actually a pretty good planner. One of my previous jobs was being in project management. So when you see me doing stuff like this, you know some weird shit is going on. To be honest, I don't think swirl tanks are a good idea for most cars, and the 3-rotor is by far no exception. The 4-rotor fortunately works well with it, but this is a complete nightmare, absolute nightmare. Let me show you what's going on. I am currently making a makeshift screen right there out of my makeshift toilet paper roll, makeshift with holes, to a makeshift length that has a makeshift spring inside of a thing that I've already carved out as well. Let me show you what all this adds up to. If you guys are looking at your coolant system, this is a major important component right here. This little thing is what allows the system, when it cools down, it allows you to suck the excess coolant back into it from the overflow tank. So this has to be on here. Otherwise, you'll pressurize your system too much. It'll overflow it because of the pressure here. And then when it goes to pull pressure back in, it'll hold a vacuum. So you need this. Well, this swirl tank is swirling up and onto this lip and hitting this and pulling it down. And then inside of there is the bypass. So it just starts spraying water instantly. Looks like it's pressurized. It's not pressure, it's flow. What we're doing right now is protecting it. But we're protecting it in a way that allows it to still work, but just not at such an extreme, crazy amount of flow. So we're gonna go ahead and put this little thing back in, the wire all around. For those of you wondering, that is actually titanium wire. So we're gonna take this little guy, we're gonna put him back in that little spot right inside of there. So water can push in and out, and that will protect this from the flow going on inside of here. So you can hear the air in the system from all of our failed attempts at learning this. But there you go. That is finally a coolant system that can hold its own. It has not yet until now. This is a whole day of just doing weird ass coolant things. While we were just sitting here relaxing, doing absolutely nothing with our lives, this started happening. So I have the car plugged in and I've tested the fans, and if you remember from the cooling video, this system is working. It's 100 and some degrees out, so the thing is clearly trying to cool down, but it feels it's heating up. It sounds like there's a massive water leak, fuel leak, coolant leak, boost leak, fan leak, air leak. It sounds like all of them all at once. Those are the fans screaming like, please don't do it this way. And so you can actually hear the positive side of this derail system is that you can actually hear it trying to speed up and slow down, but my God, it's sitting here in relatively ambient temperatures. Why are you making all this noise? Oh wait, things are heating up. This is horribly executed, but the promising side is what it was supposed to do. I assumed erroneously if you're gonna sell a PWM that it would be brushless fans and then this would be way more professional, but instead we're left with a dying cricket. Well, this is super exciting. I spent a couple minutes between the last shot and now getting all the setup with the ECU, and I was a little worried it couldn't be done, but it did, and it is, and I want to show you guys just how awesome this is. So I'm going to go ahead and run the water pump. Right now it is actually running. The water pump's at low mode. You can hear it here. It's barely there. That's about 20%. Now that is pulsing. It's saying, hey, only run 20%. Listen to this thing at full tilt. If you're thinking that's it though, no. I also have it where the whole fan system is being suggested to run by the ECU as well. And this can be controlled way more advanced than a normal fan. So the fans should they're running. That's still running. The theme of these last couple videos have been the same animal, different beast, and that is certainly culminated in this moment here. We want more. I don't know how the fuck we're gonna get more, but we want more. And that's what is going to happen right now. It might look the same, it might be the same car overall, it might be the same engine, but we have a whole coolant system change. And that means when the car's sitting between runs or waiting to go do a run or wait, whatever the case is, the coolant system can be purging, moving, and doing all those sort of things automatically for us. We have the wastegate in the correct position. That's the only change. I want to word it that way, that we haven't changed much other than the wastegate itself. So if we can control the car and launch better, it's actually because we can get more air out of the car. We have less power because we have more control. Equal length header, even more so than before. My beautiful CNC piece that really doesn't affect performance at all. And then on top of all of it, we have the strain gauge shifting as well as the insane transmission. So let's fire it up, get it up to temperature, see if the coolant system does what it's supposed to do, and then go from there.
This is how much oil goes to your turbo in that amount of time.
The return line from the turbo was not put on.
Good thing it's a straight drop.
Other than that minor mix-up, there's a lot changing there. I wanted to point out a couple more things that are going on. the coolant system is working very well right now. So we've got up to about 120 degrees, but I can see the water pump riding up higher and higher. And the water pump, of course, is more strain on the alternator, but it's not a strain on the alternator belt. Forgot to mention that I got lucky on my very first guess of where the alternator should go in the engine bay, and that's working beautifully. 14.6 volts, solid, nailed that out. So the water pump is actually no longer that weird ass thing on the back side of the belt slipping this whole time. I just wanted to make sure you guys knew how much of an improvement the water system is for this car. This is the moment we're waiting for. The fan's running, the water pump's running, I have the car still on, and it is purging all that excess heat. So we hit 181, and the system is loaded down. So I gotta work on some fine tuning because I have everything turning on way too hard too soon, and the car does not like that. I should say the alternator. I'm gonna work some things around so that way they only go to really hard amounts once you've exceeded what you're trying to do. So basically the fans turn on at 181 Fahrenheit. The water pump doesn't need to be at 100% for the 10 degrees before that because it's just circling water. The fans aren't running. Small stuff like that, very geeky details to making your own system. I'm gonna keep digging with that for a second and then we'll take it out. That was, the clutch was to the ground and I just pushed it forward. So that's the nice part about the dog's ring is that it went in, but there's something wrong with my clutch pedal. I'm testing out the engagement. I can't tell if it's a problem with the clutch or the linkage, but yeah, there's something wrong.
You just shove it in, or what?
Second, third, fourth, those are all shoving it in. Obviously I have a dog ring transmission on the 4-rotor, so I know that clink and its harshness, but the squealing noise is not so pleasant. But you gotta do it with force, you gotta do it with hatred. You have to slam those gears. We're gonna just do some diagnostics first. While we're having technical difficulties, I'll tell you right now, we're gonna go back out and test it. What I wanna tell you guys is that every single bolt on the bell housing was loose, and if you have a loose bell housing, that's making up for some of your clutch play. So we'll hopefully see if that was the issue that happened. But in the meantime, I was working on the strain gauge, which is how much you push on this shifter, and I realized I had it all wired backwards. So we are going to test that right now and see if it responds to what we want. So we have strain gauge 2.5. Oh, there we go. That little bit, like 3, 2.4, 1.9, 1.8, 1.7. That's a shit ton of strain. That is exciting. I don't know what you guys saw. It doesn't even matter to me because that was controlled. That aimed for 1 PSI and we got 0.9 something or another. Before, when I would do that, it'd be 5 PSI or so on. So we have control over our power.
Dude, she scoots.
Holy shit. Holy shit. There was no moment where I was out of power, and that was me like dicking around because I was just watching the boost. But I was like, let me give them a little something. Oh my god! I think we fixed whatever the problem was. Boost is perfect. The transmission is to die for. The strain gauge was working. We got to dial it all in, but holy shit, this thing is totally ready to rock. We've got all this all together, but I think we need to tie it off with the most important thing, which is the launch. Your guess is as good as mine. What's about to happen? All right, let's see what we get. I got some logs to go through after all this. happened. I need to dial in all the boost by gear and everything, because what happened is you'll hear the RPM. I have it limit to 4,500 RPM until it figures out the wheel slip. Well, it thought the whole time I was in second gear, it was slipping. And so it was holding me to 4,500 RPM the whole time. It was hilarious.
Wow.
The car feels so much more in control. Fine tuning this, but we would whoop that Ferrari's ass with everything we've done. Absolutely.